Good. Yo, what's up, family? Hey, this one here was just off the top here. We seen a good movie the other night. We was like, yo, we're gonna do a video on this one. This was a good one. I haven't seen a really good movie in a long time, and this was a great one. It was on Netflix. It's called CALLER. Man.
Great movie though. Yes.
That's probably the best movie I've seen in a damn year. That was a really good movie.
One of the good movies, yeah.
Anything? All right, let's talk about the movie. So what the movie is about was this, I don't know, was he a lawyer or a financial advisor or something?
He definitely wasn't part of the streets the way it transferred into.
He was a husband, he was a father, he was a good, hardworking man.
He was a stockbroker.
Okay, stockbroker. This was a good guy. Just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, not paying attention. He was driving his car, and one little fatal mistake changed his life forever.
Distraction, right?
Yep. While he was driving the car, his buddy, his wife in the passenger side, his buddy and his wife in the back, and they joking and laughing. And every now and then he turned around to give him a pound. And that's what I've gotten on y'all and Jada about back in the days. When I'm driving, y'all like, oh, daddy, look at this. And I'm like, look, I can't keep turning around while I'm driving, yo. And then y'all would get upset because y'all act like I got an attitude or something. But I'm like, yo, I'm driving. I can't keep looking back and being distracted. I might have an accident.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He turned back just for a brief second and gave the dude a pound, you know.
But wasn't he also tipsy?
He was intoxicated.
Drinks,
they
right?
just came back from drinking. And he wound up killing the guy in the back in a major accident. That one little thing changed his life.
That was more so, his fault, though.
Yeah.
The guy in the back, because he was distracting the guy while he was driving.
Yeah. And now he went to prison. Now he's trying to fight it. And now, while he's trying to fight it, they told him he would get 16 months if he plead guilty. But if he fight it, they said he'd get 7 years. And his wife was like, no, we're going to fight it. This is the part kind of pissed me off from the beginning. She said, what do you mean? They can't convict you for something that was a mistake? An accident?
Yeah.
And I said, you see, that's a typical ignorant statement for someone to say, yes, it was a mistake. It was an accident. But let that mistake or accident
be the
other way around. Somebody killed your son, daughter, husband, wife, whatever. Then she'll think differently. People are always quick to pass judgment when it's not happening to them.
Exactly.
But anyway, so I guess they went to fight it. Next you know, she came to see him in the prison again. Turns out the woman in the back was suing them for wrongful death. Now they had to put the house up. They lost damn near everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But now, the crazy thing about the movie is this law-abiding, upstanding citizen in prison, and right away, prison life gonna change you. You know, right away, they threatened that he had to bring drugs in. That's before I remember you was bugging out about.
Oh, yeah. What did he had to get?
For
the first time, he had to,
balloon of heroin.
While he was
They told him,
sleeping.
put it up.
While he was sleeping, he had to put that inside his,
And he knew he had to do it. Just like when they first came into prison. Remember, this was all new to him, and the one guy was crying. And I was like, nah, man, see, you going to prison, you can't be showing weakness because Joker's going to pounce on you. Even if they don't want to pounce on you, you come in there crying, they're going to be like, oh, I'm taking his food. I'm taking his commissary. I'm taking anything. Look at him, he's weak.
Right, but that's very hard for you to not, for you to be strong and be able, especially when you've never been in jail before.
Yeah, you better learn quick. But yeah, so now, right away, I guess the white Aryan nation, they brought him aboard. But then they threatened him. That's gonna be the word of the day. They coercioned him. That's gonna be the word of the day. You know, as usual, I'll give you a word of the day. If you look at the word coercion, it simply means to force someone to do something against their will. And that's what
There's a lot of coercion in that video.
Oh yeah. And they told him, it was like, we don't care about you being some stockbroker or whatever case. He said, when you're in this prison, you're going to do what we tell you. What you think is going to be an easy ride? He said, oh, you're going to do what we tell you to do. And so he knew, damn, he's just going to kill me if I don't do this. So he's coercion to do this. And that's what I always say about prison life. But around the world, here in the States and all that, this is what they do with prison life. You take someone like him, a perfect example of a good law-abiding student. Prison going to change you. Why? Because they know what they doing by putting you in kill or be killed situations. And the guards know all about this.
Exactly. See, that's what really pisses me off with cops. I mean, I'm sorry,
the guards.
with the guards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're there to do your job, but obviously they just don't care. They have that attitude.
Yeah. So now obviously a big yard fight happened. He's in with the brothers now, whatever. And big yard fight happened. He wound up saving the life of one of the big guys who the guy said he owns the keys to the yard, and he saved that guy life. So now they put him on.
Yeah, so he was like, I owe you one.
But what he didn't know, even though that guy owed the keys to the yard, it was a guy bigger than him that they called the Beast.
Ooh,
and the Beast controlled everything. He ran the whole prison, even though he's an inmate. But even when old boy finally got out of prison, remember, now he's a shot caller.
Oh yeah.
But when he got out, remember Frank, and it's weird that his name was Frank in The Punisher.
Yeah.
The Punisher, his name was Frank in that too. He picks him up at jail, this and that, takes him to a party, and next thing you know, Ghost from Power was one of the officers. Yes. And it's a damn shame how these parole officers do. They harass these guys when they come on. We know they got to be monitored. Because remember, Ghost almost got killed. One of the parolees.
Yeah, when he went to the house to get shot.
But they harass a lot of them where it's like, okay, you did your crime, you on parole, you keep going to his house, checking every minute what he doing, who's there. You know, they even tell these inmates sometimes you can't have not sometimes, all the time, you can't have no interaction with anybody that has a felon. What if you just walking down the street and you run into somebody by coincidence?
Right.
If you got a jerk off parole officer, you going back to jail.
Yeah, I think that's very unfair.
But it also was crazy how now he's a shot caller, and Frank, he followed him one night, and it turns out Frank was working with the cops.
No, but Money was following Frank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Money was following Frank.
Frank kind of was jealous of Money though, because Frank was the one that put him on, and now he come out. Now it's like Money's
how you bigger than me?
Yeah.
Exactly. Even though it was all coercion, he's bigger than him because I was forced to do stuff against my will, and by doing that, in the gang life, in the prison life, this is what brought him up. But Frank, on the outside, he ain't like that, and it was always that funny look they gave each other.
Yeah. But at the same time, Frank made it bad for himself as well, because now what? He was using drugs.
Using drugs, working for the cops as an informant. And I tell you, in this life,
but his was good intention. Frank was
because he wanted to get his wife out. No, but now you ratting on your people. It's always a rat. It's always somebody that's a rat. Like, damn it, man. This is, you think somebody tight with you, and you go, this dude ratting us out. But Money seen that. And it's like,
it was like his sixth sense. Like, he be acting funny around him.
And he knew. And that's when he followed him to the house later and knocked on the door. And Frank came with a gun to the door. When he came with a gun to the door, he seen it was old boy. But his senses went up. But at the same time, he know he a shot caller. So he had to open the door. As soon as he opened up the door, old boy cut, stabbed him. He stabbed him in the liver. I said, oh, he's done.
He sliced him in the side too, the ribs.
That was at the end. Yeah. First, he cut him here. He said, and then he stabbed him in the liver. And then as he was falling, he stabbed him up here. And now he's down. And he's like, man, why would you do this and that? And all Frank was saying on his dying breath, he said, man, go. And then that's when he hit him, said, stabbed him up. And then that's when he said, on his last dying breath, he said, I ain't no punk. I ain't no punk. I ain't no punk. Now, the average person be like, what that was all about?
See, I was going to ask you, what it was really that meant?
That right there, it was more than just saying what we know as I ain't no punk. What that was, the prison life, the parole officers ghosting them, they made this man go against the very fabric of who he really was and once was before he get all on the drugs. Meaning, y'all made me be a rat because you threatening me, my wife and my kids. You got it hanging over me. We're going to lock them away for life unless you help us get this guy. Yeah. So y'all made me go against the very fabric of who I really am. And remember, they said, we need you to wear white. It's I ain't wearing no damn white. You going to get me killed. So y'all made me go against the very fabric of the man of who I am, which now I feel less than a man. So even though he know that what he did was wrong, that's why his last dying words was, I ain't no punk. Because it was basically saying, man, I ain't want to do this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not who I am. I ain't no punk. I ain't no punk. It's like, but they made me do this. They coercioned me to do this. Yes. And I had no choice. Just like in prison, Money didn't have a choice.
Oh my God, remember he didn't want to kill that man? They coercioned him.
in prison. There you go.
Isn't
They was gonna kill
kill or
him.
be killed?
Kill, be
or
killed.
be killed.
They was like, look,
Yeah.
they gave him the knife. They said, you gonna do this because if you don't, we killing you. And this goes back to, like I said, prison life. These guards, the whole thing is set up. They know exactly what's going on in prison life, but they allow it to happen. They allow all the coercion. Remember, coercion means to be forced to do something against your will. These guards be a part of it and everything. Even the guard that gave him the note. Remember, in the beginning, I said, man, that guard is dirty, man. He helping him. But he wasn't dirty. The guard was coercion as well. Because Beast, at the end, Beast said, man, these damn guards, they think they run this damn prison. But sometimes we got to show them that we run the damn prison. It may take a while before we get to you, but eventually we will get you. And that's when he sent that dude Redwood. And I don't know what he bit his throat out or whatever, but he killed that guard, even though he was shackled.
Right.
So he must have did it like an animal. Because remember, he said his favorite book was...
There was so much blood on him.
The Human Animal was his favorite book.
Well, I believe
so he must have bit him like an animal. He was bleeding all over. And that's when he said to Money, he said, even Officer such and such here, he gets it. We send money to his account every month, but he know he gonna do what we ask him to do. Otherwise, well, we coercion him to do. Yeah. Otherwise, his life will be done. He get it. So that's when I finally, I said, oh, I thought he was a dirty CO. He wasn't. It's just that he was coercion into it to where, man, we will take your life. It might not be the day or tomorrow, but eventually it'll come.
Yeah.
But you know what really pushed Money to kill the Beast?
When he threatened his wife?
When it came down to his family.
That was
nobody
cool.
touches my family.
That was cool. That was
like
cool.
that.
That was cool.
That.
Like, ooh.
And he was ready
Beast was
too.
dumb though.
Beast ain't think, man, you can't beat me.
Yeah, like how you just come out
He
the cage
slept on
looking
But
like
I think
that.
a little bit in back of his head, in back of his mind, Money was a little bit of fear. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I think
it's
I
a
said
little bit
that
of
too.
fear.
I was like, was he a little scared of Beast?
Probably.
Probably,
but the minute he said,
but the minute he said about his family,
he said, we're gonna see how that run when you find out that your wife, your kid is laying in a puddle of blood. Them motherfuckers dead. Like, wow, he knew at that point. Oh, I'm already on death row.
Yeah, so I don't really have nothing.
I don't have nothing to lose. I'm going after you now. Just like when Ghost offered him that deal. He's like, man, we ain't even got to talk no more because he already knew. I already know the path I'm traveling. I ain't got nothing to live for. That's why he kept keeping his son and his wife away from him, even when he was out. They didn't understand. They was like, you ain't spoken to us in 7 years. And then remember, his son said, Dad, what could I do? He said, you want to do something for me? And slammed the door in his face.
Just stay away.
Now, of course, his son and his wife, they looking at it like, why would he do that? But, he went inside, he was crying.
And he's crying. Even the toughest man.
Because what he was doing is, I got to stay away from y'all. Otherwise, I'm going to bring harm to y'all. It's almost like the superhero movies. Spider-Man or whoever, Batman, whatever. If their enemies knew of their loved ones, they going to go after your loved ones.
I feel like he should have just told him the truth,
exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. Don't you think?
No, he did. Remember, the son did say that. He said, I know you was trying to protect us by staying away from us. He said, but we could fix that. We could protect you now. He's like, nah.
Oh, yeah, there's no way.
He was letting them know it's bigger than what you think. What y'all going to do against an army of jokers ready to kill? It's just you and your mother. Come on, man. You think you can protect me. But, man, that was crazy. But, yeah, that was something, too. Like you said, when he got Beast in the end, Beast really didn't think, nah, you can't beat me. You ain't getting me. I'm going to kill you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even know he sliced him in the throat. Because remember, we all was like, where's his blood coming from?
Right?
I was like, what happened?
And he had it planned the whole time. Like,
yeah.
I know exactly step by step what I'm about to do. Because I got nothing to live for. And I know I said this already, but the jail system is made up for you to be a better criminal. It ain't made up to be the rehabilitation. If you see jails, now there's jails, horrible jails all over the world, but there are some jails in some parts of the world that will blow your mind, where they really do go in for rehab. You might get a joker in a certain part of in a nice part of the world, their jails is like college. Really, could you imagine a joker going to jail for an accidental murder and do his 5 years taking up college courses? They drive in a car in the damn jail. Come out and be a respectable doctor, but not here in America. Oh, no. You do a crime, you come out, you can't even vote. You do a crime, your parole officer on your butt all the time. Because I had to do that at one time. Mine wasn't that severe like that. This when I was like 16. But I still remember the stuff I had to go to. You got to urinate when they tell you got to give urine. It better be clean. You got to come here and do this and do that. You got to abide by all this. Your appointments, you better not be late or they're going to send your butt right back. It's so much to deal with. So imagine someone dealing with a murder charge and you're dealing with a parole officer that's just on your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, the prison system just makes criminals better criminals. Because they remember remember the part where Ghost said it in the car. He said, "I don't get this, man."
He didn't even have a parking.
He said, "This guy didn't even have a parking ticket. This was a law-abiding citizen, a husband, a father. This was a good man. Now
clean.
you're telling me he the leader of a gang?" See, y'all know this crap. The criminal system and the jail system does nothing but make criminals better criminals. They don't rehabilitate them.
Exactly.
Y'all got anything else?
Yeah, and cops never is done with anybody.
No, they did to make it worse.
It's all about themselves.
Help
It's
us.
all about,
Help us get this person. No, but we really don't give a damn about you.
Help us do our job.
Yeah, help us do our job. We want to put a wire on you. We want to put your life at 100% at risk to die, but we're going to act like you helping us and we helping you, but we really don't give a damn about you.
We so-called will give you the protection that you need. That's a bunch of BS.
In closing, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Yes. Yo, if you want to see a really good movie, go to that on Netflix. Yeah. It's called Shot Caller.
Oh, I like the other part in the beginning when he was on that bus and that lady was just staring at him.
Oh, that was... yeah, that kind of bothered me too because she was just staring because of all of the tattoos.
Yeah,
remember...
you got to be careful who you stare at.
That's what we were talking about. You have to be careful who you're staring at because you could be staring at the wrong crazy person. Especially a person that's just coming out of... Yeah.
See how we keep going back to the movie because it's so many little details in that movie that you can talk about.
It was, you're right. Because even with the tattoos...
Wait, so do you think he did set up that whole thing? Remember when he killed Frank? And when you was like, why didn't he change the cell phone?
Yeah, that part kind of got me.
Do you think he set it up for everybody to get caught?
Now that you think about it, now you say you're right. Because his whole thing, he had a... Because he was coercion into this. Remember, coercion means to be forcefully... to be forced to do something against your will. Because remember, he knew his life was been over.
That's what I'm saying.
So he wanted to get back at Beast.
Yeah, so I think it was a setup.
Yeah, because he remember when Ghost said to him when he was in that cage, that little tight cage, he said, "Listen, I'm going to give you a deal that no one's offering." He said, "Listen, I'm going to give you the deal. If you give us Beast, I'll let you walk out of here." Now, how crazy is that? How you see how corrupt the government is? That's just like with Sammy the Bull. Sammy the Bull, you killed all these people, and they told you if you rat on John Gotti, we'll forgive all them damn deaths you did. This is how corrupt the government is. It's like
you'll be a snitch forever. Nobody likes a snitch.
And like he said, we'll let all that go if you give up the Beast. And he's like, "Man, I don't even want to talk no more, man. Send me to myself. I ain't ratting on nobody." But like you said, because he had it already set in his mind.
Because remember, you could think about it. He even had the asthma, the blade.
Yeah, everything set up. It was all coercion. Pushed him to be in that coercion situation to where he knew, yo, I ain't got nothing to live. Remember what he said to his wife when they gave him all them years? What he said? He said, "Don't forget about me. Act like I never existed." Yeah, I don't exist. He said, "Forget about me. Life's over. I don't exist no more." Yeah, and his wife was like, "Oh my God!" Like, he was just a hardened criminal. The jail system made him a hardened criminal. They don't be trying to rehabilitate you, make you a better criminal. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Anything else? Last words?
So once again, go ahead and watch this movie. It's really, really good.
Yes. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Excellent movie called Shot Caller. Peace.